Good day, comrades and friends. This is Dr. Gabe Roberts, the quantum chiropractor, the subconscious healer, new thought minister, and your expert in energy medicine. Additionally to all this, I am a scientist and I study evidence and research extensively. I don't look into propaganda or mainstream agendas. So, whenever I say the word prayer, I mean something that shows reasonable scientific evidence behind it. Is there something, to scientific prayer then? Is there any evidence at all that supports the activities of, let's say, a group of people participating in meditation or prayer having any effect on our outside world? There are spontaneous healings that occur all across the globe, many at Buddhistic shrines or Shinto shrines or other places throughout the world. Anyone who thinks at all realizes that there must be some principle behind it. There is only one healing power that's responsible for all of these, not two or 10 or 1,000. All healings are spiritual. This is why people are healed by the bones of saints, relics, amulets, and charms. If a person has belief that it's the bone of a saint, although in some circumstances it actually has been replaced by the bone of a dog, they get a healing just the same. Spiritual healing takes place when the combined use of the conscious and subconscious mind is scientifically directed. In a hospital in India, there were 15 paralyzed people, some completely paralyzed for over 10 years. A large cobra came through the window. The snake was the only resident in the ward after about 30 seconds. The power was always there. Why did they have to wait for the snake? In clinical papers I've reviewed, a diabetic, a person suffering from severe depression, and a person who endures chronic pain were all given by a perceived medical authoritative figure a new cutting edge drug that has shown promising results in the trials. All three candidates showed remarkable improvements. They were all given a sugar pill. Their ability to heal was always there. Why do they have to wait for the pill? The spirit inside of you cannot be paralyzed, cannot be sick, cannot be limited to the physical limitations of our body. How else could Sesiba Kuriki set the Guinness World Record walking 200 meters on hot coals that were 1,600 degrees centigrade? How else could Lauren Kornicki lift a BMW off of her father after the car toppled off of a jack onto him when he was underneath it? How else could Wim Hof swim under ice a distance of nearly 60 meters? All these occur with no injuries to their physical body. Dr. Hamill from London gives his account of a man who lived near him. This man had poliomyelitis and was crippled most of his life. He had two sons, and a fire took place in their home. He threw down his crutches, put both sons on his shoulders, and ran down the stairs. The power was always there. No one had ever told him about the inner power. The idea to save the lives of his sons at all cost seized his mind, and the power of the divine flowed to that focal point of attention. Dr. Joe Dispenza, many of us are familiar with him, was struck by an SUV while biking in California, shattering 6 vertebrae and leaving him a quadriplegic. Turning down surgical recommendations from leading orthopedic surgeons, he began directing his spirit to reconstruct his spinal cord, completely giving him the ability to walk, run, and jump with no limitations. In every example, the power of the infinite was released because their attention was diverted away from their problem and they were fully focused on the solution. and all the power of the infinite flows to that focal point. The utter simplicity of these occurrences is that the presence of God is in your subconscious mind. Nothing could be simpler. We can use any power in the world two ways. So as you sow, you will reap. The law of life is absolutely honest, intimately fair, absolutely just. It plays no favorites. All of us make our own heaven or our own hell. You may have noticed there's no such word as hell in the Bible. It's an English word. You're told in the New Testament, except by parabole, speak he unto them. Parabole means parabolus, that which lies alongside, or the inner meaning of it. The Bible says a certain man has two sons. Millions of people have two sons. It's not talking about having two sons. It's talking about your conscious and subconscious mind. When the Bible mentions husband and wife, it doesn't mean men who have beards and women who wear dresses. It's referring to the principle of the male and female that's within us, mainly the conscious and subconscious mind. The Bible is not talking specifically about cities or towns or people. It's talking about you. All the experiences in the Bible are experiences of you. It's meant to tell you how you can get in trouble and how to get out of trouble. Both the Old and the New Testament gives you guidelines with clearness. Whatever you focus on is what will be made into physical manifestation. If one gives hate, he will receive hate. If one gives love, he'll receive love. If he gives criticism, he will receive criticism. If he cheats, he will be cheated. If he lies, he'll be lied to. The imagining faculty, otherwise known as the imagination, plays the most important role because the language of the subconscious is not of words or phrases, but images and feelings. It has no idea how to understand words. What a man or woman imagines in their mind sooner or later externalizes into the physical world. There are interesting experiments which show how states of mind can influence people in the general vicinity, like neighborhoods or local districts. Lynn McTaggart has demonstrated that when people in groups get together in a state of prayer or meditation, such as Washington, D.C., and remain there for a period of time, the violence and the crime rate drops massively. Now, this has been successfully duplicated well over 50 times across the globe. I believe that many people spend way too much time worrying and stressing about things that are just fear-based and not living to their fullest potential. My mission is to get as many people feeling better and in more control of their own life and their own health, both mentally and physically, as possible. Go to my page, Dr. Gabe Roberts, and like it or tag a friend as I continue to go into depth on the mind, how it works, and show you that the greatest part of you is something that you'll never see.